Could Zimbabwe's political landscape be shifting back to an era of long-term leadership, echoing its controversial past? The ruling Zanu-PF party's recent proposal to extend President Emmerson Mnangagwa's term until 2030 has sparked heated debate about democracy, governance, and leadership longevity in Africa. This move would require constitutional amendments, raising the question, is extending presidential terms truly in the people's best interest? In a move stirring significant debate, Zimbabwe's ruling party Zanu-PF has proposed extending President Emmerson Mnangagwa's term by 2 years, potentially allowing him to remain in power until 2030. This initiative challenges the nation's constitutional provision that limits president to 2 5-year terms, with Mnangagwa's current tenure set to conclude in 2028. Justice Minister Zanu-PF has indicated the government's readiness to introduce constitutional amendments to remove presidential term limits, emphasizing that such changes would reflect the people's will. He stated, "If the people say they want the president's term extended, so be it." The proposal has garnered support from unexpected quarters. The main opposition party, Citizens Coalition for Change, has expressed it will not oppose calls for President Mnangagwa to extend his tenure. Such a stance has raised questions about the motivations behind the shift and its impact on democratic processes. However, constitutional experts warn of significant legal and political hurdles. Amending the Constitution requires a bill debated by citizens for 90 days, approval by a 2/3 majority in both the National Assembly and the Senate, and a subsequent referendum. Professor Lovemore Maduku noted, "Legally, yes, you can go through the steps, but it will be very difficult because most Zimbabweans don't support it." Zimbabwe's political history is dominated by the late Robert Mugabe, who led the country for 37 years following independence in 1980. Mugabe's rule, first as Prime Minister and later as President, was marked by both revolutionary achievement and increasing authoritarianism. Initially celebrated for championing land redistribution and education reforms, Mugabe's later years were plagued by economic mismanagement, hyperinflation, and widespread poverty. Despite introducing a new constitution in 2013 that limited presidents to 2 5-year terms, Mugabe remained in power until a military coup ousted him in 2017, paving the way for Mnangagwa. His leadership was a stark reminder of the risk associated with prolonged rule, stagnation, entrenched corruption, and diminished accountability. President Mnangagwa initially pledged to serve only 2 terms, branding his administration as a new democracy. However, Zanu-PF's recent efforts to remove term limits echo Mugabe's era, with Justice Minister Zanu-PF justifying the move as reflecting the people's will. While Zanu-PF has consolidated its majority in parliament, experts like constitutional lawyer Lovemore Maduku argue that public opposition and procedural hurdles make such changes legally and politically challenging. Critics argue that altering the electoral calendar to extend the president's term undermines democratic principles. The Zimbabwe Election Support Network expressed concern, stating that postponing elections can erode public trust in electoral processes and raise serious questions about commitment to democracy and accountability. The push for longer leadership terms isn't unique to Zimbabwe. Across Africa, leaders in Uganda, Cameroon, and Equatorial Guinea have extended their terms, often through constitutional amendments. But has this translated into development? President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda has ruled since 1986, touting economic stability and infrastructure projects, yet persistent corruption, youth unemployment, and human rights abuses have marred his legacy. Cameroon's Paul Biya, who has been in power since 1982, presides over a divided nation facing an ongoing Anglophone crisis, widespread poverty, and limited industrial growth. Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo of Equatorial Guinea, Africa's longest-serving leader, has overseen some infrastructure improvement, but faces criticism for gross inequality and authoritarianism. In contrast, countries with clear leadership transitions and term limits, such as Ghana and Botswana, have often demonstrated more consistent economic growth and political stability. Supporters of long-term leadership often cite China, where Xi Jinping's tenure has been extended indefinitely as a success story. Under Xi, China has solidified its position as a global economic powerhouse with significant advancement in infrastructure, technology, and poverty alleviation. However, the Chinese model benefits from a unique blend of centralized governance and a meritocratic civil service system, which ensures long-term planning and policy continuity. This model may not be easily replicable in countries with weaker institutions and less transparent governance. Africa's experience with long-term leaders underscores the importance of robust institutions and accountability over individual rule. While extended terms might offer continuity, they risk entrenching power, fostering corruption, and stifling innovation. For countries like Zimbabwe, the question isn't just whether Mnangagwa should stay in power, but whether such a move aligns with the principles of democracy and sustainable development. Your perspective matters. What do you make of Zimbabwe's scrapping term limits? Share your thoughts and insights in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the New Africa channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our informative future videos. Stay informed, stay engaged, and thank you for watching.